What's interesting is that Padre Martinez was the head of the Penitente Brotherhood. He organized the first Penitente Brotherhood in Santa Cruz de la Cañada on the other side of Española. It's there in Santa Cruz de la Cañada they have the little chapel called Chimayo. And in Chimayo, something wonderful happened a couple of 100 years ago. A man by the name of Mr. Abeta was out plowing the fields and suddenly he heard bells ringing. And he thought, there are no bells anywhere here. So he put his ear to the ground and he could still hear the ringing. He began to dig that little hole that's still there in the chapel of Chimayo, and out came a big bell first, and then a huge crucifix, which is the healing Lord of Esquipulas, and lastly a statue, the most ancient statue of the Christmas child, the poor one. And he set it there on the side. What's really interesting about the Christmas child there of Chimayo, if you've never seen it, is that parents whose children have begun to walk put the baby shoes out in front of the child. Then Father Roca, who's been there for 55 years, closes the door. The next day, when they open the door, the shoes are completely worn out at the bottom. The soles are always worn out. This happens night after night. It is the belief of the pious here in northern New Mexico that the poor one, at Santo Nino de Atocha, walks around all night long doing good deeds. And that's why he is there. People don't know, for example, why the Virgin Mary, the Virgen de Guadalupe, has her eyes downcast instead of looking straight ahead. Or why the Christmas child has an empty basket. Well, this was the same basket that he carried back in Spain. After the Christmas child disappeared from Spain, the basket reappeared in Peru, and it was found by a black man, the first black saint of the Americas, known as Martin de Porres. And no matter what the people would ask him, he would pull it out of his basket. And after Martin de Porres died, the basket also disappeared. The belief in northern New Mexico is that at the time of our greatest need, that basket will come back to earth. So we have to keep praying for the same trust and unity. And of course, the gourd that he carries over here talks about the biblical passage that says, feed the needy, feed the hungry, and give water to the thirsty. So this is all part of the symbolism. What you see over here, you will see this is the scallop shell. The scallop shell is used for baptism. This is, and anybody who goes to visit the tomb of Santiago de Compostela, the patron saint of Taos, must wear a little conch shell there, a little scallop shell also. In any case, we are on the 7th night of Las Posadas right now. The 7th night, we are doing something to prepare the Christmas creche. For those of you who may not know, those little beautiful manger scenes that you find on top of coffee tables all over the place right now were invented by a man named St. Francis, or Francis of Assisi, who invented it in the year 1227. And now we use them over here to celebrate the Christmas season. The idea that people in New Mexico were always invoking the aid of St. Isidore the Farmer, who was the saint that you invoke when you want to keep away bad neighbors. The worst thing you could possibly have in colonial New Mexico or territorial New Mexico would be a bad neighbor. Even today, you don't want bad neighbors anyway. And so you could do, if the saint wasn't heeding your prayers, then you could do it in another way. And this would be by a ceremony called Compadrismo. So I will now ask the owners of the Hacienda and the Fiesta Council, if you would join, the Fiesta Queens rather, if you join pinkies with Joseph and Mary over here in a circle. Come together. And I'm going to give you the swearing-in ceremony that will make you good neighbors for the rest of your lives. Muy bien. And Elma, you join them also. Yes, big circle. Perfect. I love it. Love it. Now, this is how we strengthen community ties in northern New Mexico. I will repeat it for you in Spanish and then in English. Every time I pause, you repeat after me. Are you ready? Yes. Carretita, carretón, con agujero y sin tapón. El que se vale a la comadre y al compadre, luego se desvale, se le parte el corazón. In English, it was meant right from the start, with no stopper flowing out. We are now kin, this we shout,
We are now kin, this we shout.
One sole horse with one sole cart.
One sole horse with one sole cart.
If from this vow we depart,
If from this vow we depart,
it will shatter our poor hearts.
it will shatter our poor hearts.
Now from now on until 3 days that you have been dead, you will refer to the people in this circle as your compadres and your comadres. No matter where you see them in public, you must always say, ¿Cómo está, compadre? ¿Cómo está, comadre? Go ahead and give your new compadres a hug before I continue.
Okay, compadre.